Good evening and welcome to PEOMIOSFYRDS Live on UWW-TV. I'm Alex Monti, joined by co-host Nazir Spencer and Gabe Sadowski. We ask you to please excuse our momentary interruption of sports from your regular daily schedule. We had a week off this past week with the spring break and whatnot, so we're going to be jumping right in with what we've missed and all the action that happened in the meantime. We'll begin with the big news in the NFL today. Stephon Diggs got traded to the Houston Texans in exchange for a second-round pick. Diggs had expressed his unhappiness in Buffalo the past few years. Now the Bills have dealt their best weapon to another team in the AFC. Nazir, does this move the Bills, or does this close the Bills Super Bowl window, and are the Texans now the front runners in the AFC?
Well, first of all, the Bills never had a chance in the first place, in my opinion. So, Patrick Mahomes owns them, and it was not going well for them to begin with. So I think moving on from the 31-year-old, or 30-year-old, going to be 31 with the Texans now. I think it's a great move by them, kind of clearing out house a little bit. But the Texans, man, that offense is kind of scary. C.J. Stroud, Joe Mixon, new addition, Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell. I mean, they might score. Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's a field goal or touchdown. With that coach, his offensive just genius. He's a guru at offense. They might score 3 or 7 every drive. So I would put them as contenders because they took Lamar for a little bit of a run for a little bit in the first half in the divisional round this past year. But anything can happen. But right. I think C.J. Stroud's gonna have an MVP season next year. He's not gonna win MVP, but he's gonna have the stats to prove that he's that guy. So,
for
sure. Stephon, he's 31 almost, like I said before, and he's 4-year, $96 million contract. I mean, we'll see what happens. I hope he does good. Yeah, for sure. I love Stephon Diggs.
I really like this move for Houston. Obviously, they're kind of doing something like we saw with the Packers getting Xavier McKinney and now Josh Jacobs. They realize they have a young quarterback, and you got to capitalize on that, as soon as you possibly can.
Absolutely, man.
So
especially that good too.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, I love this for Houston. I really think, obviously I know Stephon had some stuff going on locker room wise with Buffalo, and I think that kind of contributed to him being traded like the way he just was, but. I agree with you though too, Nazir. I think Buffalo's window is kind of done and over with now. Maybe I don't want to count him out yet, but it's drastically
it's worse.
Yeah,
he's not going to anyone anymore though, man. It's like
Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel, that's true, but no Gabe Davis, no Stephon Diggs, none of that. No. And my only issue with Stephon Diggs going to Texans is his ego. He has a huge ego. Yep. He's on a young team now, a really young team. So he can't do any of that stuff anymore. No. He has to set an example. True. So that's my biggest thing, but I think it'll all work out for sure.
Yeah. I think something fun to watch out for is now both Diggs are in Texas now.
That's true.
One in Houston, one in
Not
Dallas.
Too far off.
And they're going to be playing sometime this season. I think them playing on Thanksgiving night would be must-watch television. I think
Family
that would
night
be perfect. Now we'll move on to the next story, turning our attention to college basketball. March Madness in both the men's and women's side are moving on to the Final Four of the bracket. Been amazing games, shocking upsets, and unforgettable moments throughout the entire March. Perhaps the most talked about moment out of either tournament was the national championship rematch between Iowa Hawkeyes and LSU Tigers in the women's bracket, with the trip to the Final Four on the line. Caitlin Clark scored 41 and got her revenge over Angel Reese-led Tigers, helping Iowa advance to their second straight Final Four. Nazir, what were your thoughts on this game and the big-time matchup between these two stars?
Caitlin Clark, man, I'll never bet against her ever again, man. That was crazy because, I was rooting for Angel Reese again because, they're the defending champs, She had a chip on her shoulder. The whole country was against her. But, 41 and 12, man.
Crazy. That's crazy.
41, 12, and 7. Yeah. She looked like prime Steph Curry. You know how in 2016 when we saw Steph Curry take the court, he was like God in basketball form. He would make everything. Once a shot went up, you had to hold your breath. Yeah. You had to, and that's how I felt that night. And she's just unbelievable. But I have to give a shout out to Angel Reese. Amazing game for her. She really left it all out on the field. Even she got injured. Her ankle got twisted a little bit. She ran back out on the court 2 minutes later. You can tell the difference with her on the court and without her on the court. Sure. So, I'll give a shout out to her for sure. But LSU, they just look kind of fatigued out there after a little bit. Haley Van Lith, she could not guard Caitlin Clark to save her life. And I mean, kudos to her. She's a great player too. But man, that's a different breed. Caitlin Clark is something to behold of. She's going to turn the WNBA around for sure.
Really? You're going that far, really?
I 100% believe so.
Okay.
I'm more interested in the women's bracket than the men's bracket this year.
For sure.
Because think about it, the WNBA draft class is better than the NBA. This is the worst NBA.
I agree with
draft
that.
class
Yeah.
I've
No,
ever seen.
100%. I agree with that.
Worst I've ever seen. So, I mean, she might turn it around. You see all the commercials and ads she's having. They're hyping her up to be the next LeBron James.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I mean, seriously, her player types like Curry and her endorsement level, like hype is like LeBron's. So that's something I've never seen before. That's amazing.
Yeah.
No, I think, what Caitlin Clark has been able to do for not just like women's college basketball, just women's sports in general, it cannot be like understated what she has been able to do and to just transcend the national spotlight on women's sports. Like it's just insane. And obviously she's not the only person doing it, but she's like the big I think reason why, like we've seen such a women's sports become like what it is, like I said, in the national spotlight. And it's just so awesome to see. And I want to give my shout out to Angel Reese too. She did declare for the WNBA draft. So and like you said, Nazir, like she's persevered through a lot and been able to the place she's in today, like it's just great to see.
I'll give some special shout outs to Juju Watkins on the come up. She's going, in my opinion, I think she's gonna be better than Caitlin Clark. I don't know if she's gonna break all the records, but play style, she plays like Kyrie, she plays like Carmelo in my eyes a little bit, man. I'm telling you right now, there's something special. That sister is something special, man. I'm telling you. And I'll give a shout out to Paige Becker. She's playing as well against Caitlin Clark on Friday.
A lot of high expectations on your part there.
Absolutely.
For the men's tournament bracket, or men's tournament side, we saw some favorites and some unexpected teams advance to the Final Four. UConn is back for the second straight year, looking to become the first team to win back-to-back championships since Florida did it in 2006 and 2007. Another one-seed Purdue got their first Final Four since 1980. Teams that were more of a surprise included Alabama getting their first ever Final Four, and 11-seed NC State continuing their unbelievable run from the ACC tournament. Gabe, who is your favorite to win it all out of these teams?
Well, I'm not picking a football school, that's for sure. Sorry, Alabama.
I rolled with them to get to the Final Four, so.
Yeah, I don't see it. I mean, even though they're there, like I just don't see it. I'm sorry. Kudos to you guys though. NC State, I love DJ Burns. I think he's probably been the big highlight of the tournament so far for everybody. Just watching him go down low with this post game, it's always fun. I think though my championship game is probably right now it's UConn and Purdue. Zach Edey has been insane. I know I was kind of talking some smack about him and everything, but I do think though UConn, this is their championship to lose at this point. You look at the tournament, they've just been blowing everybody out that they've played, not even close. I think the closest game was the Northwestern one. I think they only won by 17 or something like that.
Just
so
17.
Yeah, but it's not Kentucky's. That's no Connecticut. It's their game to lose at this point.
Man, yeah, I got UConn beating Alabama, but I got NC State beating Purdue. The producer's not gonna like that one because I rooted against Purdue for a long time, and I still got NC State winning this game, dude. DJ Burns is something special, and I don't think Zach Edey can handle him. I really do not think so. I don't think Zach Edey's all that good either. He's just slow. He's lackluster on defense. I don't know. I don't see a lot of potential in him like that. People are saying he's a second-round pick. So
he's going undrafted. He's not a second-round pick.
We'll see.
No,
but
his game doesn't translate to the NBA.
UConn over NC State in the final. I'll take that.
I feel like UConn is the safe bet here. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll dive deeper into some of the earlier games in the NCAA bracket, talk about the MLB season starting, and if the NIL is ruining college basketball. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with PEOMIOSFYRDS on UWW TV.
number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Holmes.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
For Hawk Talk, especially on days I'm hosting, you really need to be up early looking at those news stories. Even the night before, I'm finding topics that I can incorporate in the show, and I feel like we get a conversation going.
Once you get the opportunity to do that with other people who appreciate it the same level as you do, it makes it that much more enjoyable.
For everything sports, tune in Monday through Thursday at 91.7 The Edge or watch us on UWW TV.
Are you bored on campus? Then come down to Warhawk Alley in the University Center. We have everything you need to take a break from your studies and have a great time. So come blow off some steam with our air hockey, darts, foosball, video games, 8 top-of-the-line Brunswick pool tables, and our 10-lane bowling alley. We have nightly specials, blacklight bowling, tournaments, and tons of chances to win prizes. For more information or to set up a reservation, call Warhawk Alley at 262-472-5681.
Here at UW Whitewater Intramural Sports, we have a motto: a sport for everyone and everyone in a sport.
Come on!
Stepped it anyways. Oh, she got that off. They're going to count it.
Had a blast. Always have fun at intramurals.
Every day we strive to go above and beyond that goal by providing healthy exercise, promoting leisure education, and giving students that competitive atmosphere they are looking for.
Yes! Yes!
It's exciting. Brings me back to those high school days with Friday Night Lights.
With our 25 different intramural sports offered, we guarantee that we have a sport for you. Go to our website and find your sport today.
Welcome back to PEOMIOSFYRDS live on UWW TV. 2 weeks ago, we did our hour-long special previewing the March Madness tournament before it got started. Now we're going to take a look back on our predictions and see how they turned out. With big upsets like Oakland over Kentucky, NC State streaking to the Final Four, and other 11 seeds also winning, naturally, nobody went perfect. Nazir, what went right in your bracket and what went horribly wrong?
Everything went horrible. I didn't get a single Final Four right. I had UNC, I had Iowa State, I had Purdue, oh no, not Purdue, sorry. I had Tennessee and Houston, and all my Final Four, and they all lost. So the thing about that is, man, Illinois State, they just played horrible. Milan, man, I don't know what happened that game. Man, you really let me down in that game. But hey, still love you. Good luck in the future. Hope you stay another year, hopefully. And Houston, man, I don't know what happened with Houston.
That was
Their best player went down, and they all went down, man. It was so sad to watch. And then Tennessee, their defense just, I don't know. I don't really know what happened there either. UNC, I don't even know why I picked them. I'll give you my promise from now on. I'm never picking the 1 seed to win ever again because I picked Houston to win it all. I thought their defense and their team was so complete that they could beat UConn or Iowa State. I thought Iowa State was going to beat UConn. So, I'm never picking a 1 seed again. I'm going to pick a 3 seed next year. Confirmed. I should have picked Duke or UConn like everyone else. So I just didn't believe in UConn like that.
Yeah.
Dang, that's tough.
Yeah. No, I had my Final Four was UConn. I had Arizona. I had South Carolina in there, and then I want to say I don't remember the other team, but none of I only got UConn right, and it was. Yeah, it was
a
not.
good one.
I wanted to be different. That's why I didn't pick it.
It was not pretty. Obviously, I had South Carolina in the national championship game, losing to UConn.
South Carolina.
That was a wild.
Okay, I don't know why.
Okay,
that was kind of your fault.
Yeah, that
was
was
no, 100% it was. I in my head, I was just like, you know what? I want to send like a flyer team and like have them go like far.
Yeah.
But that was too far. I should not have picked them. But
it was a bit much.
Yeah. No. It's yeah.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. As if you remember last week's show or 2 weeks ago, I had UConn, I had Alabama. Don't know how that happened. I was least confident in that. And I had Duke. I was so close. I could have had 3 of the 4.
That was good.
If Duke could have beat NC State, I would have had that.
They should have won.
Or Oregon, I wasn't even close. That wasn't
even a bad pick.
I mean, it wasn't bad.
No,
if they could have had a free throw.
That Oregon Creighton game was the best game.
Shoot a freaking free throw, and maybe they could have advanced. But whatever. It was still a good year for me, so I don't know. The MLB season is now officially underway for the league, with some interesting results already taking place. The Milwaukee Brewers started the season 4-0, sweeping the Mets and taking the first game against the Twins yesterday. They lost their first game today with their earlier loss against Minnesota. Other teams like the Pirates, Yankees, and Tigers have also started the season without a loss, while teams like the Mets, Marlins, and Astros haven't been good in the first few games. Gabe, give us your early MLB season predictions and who you could see winning the World Series.
Well, I think Pittsburgh's start so far is a fluke. They're not good. I mean, of course, it's only the first week of the season, so you got to give it time. But
I won't say they're just not good.
I don't know, not good. It's kind of
that's a bit strong. I don't know about that.
No, but I think in terms of season predictions though, I do think Chicago is going to win the NL Central easily, in my opinion.
Easily. Man, you're just full of the hot takes.
I do think it's their division, but easily.
Easily is just strong.
But I guess talking about World Series, it's the Dodgers to lose. I think
it's the Dodgers to choke, as they always do.
It is.
They buy all the fancy toys and whatnot, and they go into the playoffs. It's immediately just gone. Mm-hmm. They don't got it. they can't stick with them.
Everyone's talking about the Dodgers, and I'm sitting here still thinking about the Orioles. Their team is so young still, and they still have so much potential. They got it ruined last year. It was kind of sad, but I still got my eyes on the Orioles and the Phillies. The Phillies, I don't know what the Phillies did last year to lose that series, man. It was just so pathetic to watch, and it was so sad. Those Philly fans, they deserve so much better. For the Milwaukee Brewers, though, I think they're going to have a great season. They're fresh, they're new, they have so much going for them. So I think we have a good season going on. But I got Orioles Phillies in the World Series. Orioles winning in 6.
I have whoever the Brewers lose to in the playoffs winning the World Series.
That is very accurate.
Not a bad take.
That has been the way it's been for years and years.
Since we were born.
It's just a stepping stone. I don't know. For our next topic, we're going to pivot back to college sports and discuss the NIL and the name, image, and likeness rules. Essentially, this allows athletes to get paid and is fueling lots of transferring and stockpiling of good players on bigger teams. Some argue this is ruining college sports, making them too lopsided and giving bigger schools an unfair advantage when it comes to recruiting. Nazir, is the NIL a good thing, or is it destroying the competitiveness of college sports?
I don't think it's about the NIL. I think it's about the player. I think it's always about the player and how they are competitive. So I don't necessarily think that the NIL is ruining. I think it's ruining the fact that some players want to be competitive. The money's getting to their head. Oh, I just want the money, so I'm going to play this amount of games. Mm-hmm. I'm going to play this hard on this day because this team isn't as good as ours. I mean, that's the only thing I can really think of when it comes to NIL money. But otherwise, I mean, I don't see an issue with the players getting paid. If you're that good and you have great advertising skills, you have a great market team behind you, I don't see any problem with that. But it is a little unfair when it comes to teams that aren't that good, like Colorado or like whatever other team like NC State, for example. Yeah. You would never expect a great player like with high caliber just to go to NC State and try to win it all. You never see that. No. But I think if like DJ Burns, for example, since he's having such a great run, he should get all those, advertising and all that money. But it all depends on the player, in my opinion. So I don't think it's ruining it. I just think the players, they need to get it together and kind of figure out if they really want to play this game or are they just in it for the money.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point too. Are these guys here because they just want to make that money, or because they actually love whatever sport that it is that they're playing? Right. And I think, to me at least, I think there's I think those kind of go, or I guess they're closely related, is what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. So let's say you have like a Jack Golke, for example. Right. Obviously, he played D2 for I think his first 4 years, and now he was at Oakland for his 5th year. Yeah. And, a guy like that, he
wants it. He wants to win.
Exactly. Yes. On the flip side, though, if you're there all 4 years for your degree, why not make some money on the side of that too? Sure, you might not go to the league and play, which, whether it's NBA or whatever it is, but like you're still making money while you're getting that education, and I think that's great for the players.
Like the money that Caitlin Clark's getting.
My gosh.
She's already got like $20 million. You see how competitive she is. 41. We said that before. Right. So I mean, I don't. It's all about the player, in my opinion. I just don't. I don't think it even. There's nothing else wrong with it. That's just.
I feel like it's the players and how they play, and like that comes as a result following it. And plus, big schools, they're gonna have scholarships anyway, so it's really not gonna change too much with that. We're gonna take another break, and when we return, we'll have our weekly 2-minute drill talking about all the other news we missed. Stay tuned. This is PEOMIOSFYRDS on UWW TV.
I learned a lot of valuable lessons playing college football. I never thought about the health benefits of exercise until I actually started to talk to coaches in college. It's not only just for performance, it's for life. My coaches instilled the importance of well-being, not only building up strength, mental health, getting enough sleep, eating properly is all what it is to be healthy. I decided that I want to go into personal trainer and share my knowledge that I obtained in college about physical and mental well-being.
Your home for excellence in action. The WIAC Network. Watch and download here.
Matt checking in to see how Sam is doing on his project. And it's getting close to exporting now, the final step in the process. And it is complete, and Sam is hyped. Finally gets complete and spikes the ball into the end zone. Sam's celebrating with his colleagues, and they throw a flag on the play. The ref's going to call excessive celebration. Sam is in disbelief and can't believe it. He tries to dispute the call, but the ref is not having any of it.
Here at UWW, we put a lot of emphasis on shaping your involvement. Involvement helps you get to know more people with similar values and goals as yourself. The Student Involvement Office can help you get involved with organizations on campus, or we can help you start a brand new one. So what are you waiting for? It's time to shape your involvement at UWW. If you'd like to learn more, stop by UC 127 or contact us at involvement@uww.edu or call 262-472-6217.
Welcome back to PEOMIOSFYRDS. Gentlemen, we haven't done this in almost 3 weeks now, but we're going to try and fit in as many topics as possible into 2 minutes. Are you both ready?
We are ready.
Let's do it.
All right, I guess we'll get right on into it. These are your thoughts on Joel Embiid returning so soon from injury.
What are they doing to these players? How is he back? How is he back and then comes out and wins the game? Dude, I love Joel Embiid. No, I don't. But I think he's a great player. But man, I don't know what they're doing to these players. But that is that's some good juice they're giving them. Man. I love it.
I guess so. Yeah.
I think he's gonna be great though. They're a threat now for sure. They look back into true form, even without Maxey. So that'd be great.
Not bad. Gabe, what does the Bucks loss last night to the Wizards mean for their playoff hopes?
Well, it's not pretty.
It's not pretty.
It's not pretty, but I'm not hitting the panic button yet. I'm gonna wait until the playoffs actually start panicking.
I guess it's an appropriate time to panic in the playoffs.
I'm nervous.
It's there.
Well, you won't have to face the Wizards in the playoffs, so
That's true.
Should be fine.
That's true.
Nazir, how do you think the play-in race will shake out in the NBA regular season final stretch?
I'm gonna stick with the West on this one because the East isn't as fun. But
True.
Warriors, Lakers, Mavs, and Kings right now are in it. Oh my goodness! If I get to see LeBron James and Steph Curry play for the 7th seed, oh man, that's gonna be such a great game. Both players are gonna drop 40, and Luka and then De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis, dude. Even another great game. I don't even need to say anymore, guys. That's gonna be great matchups. I see probably the Mavs and Kings not making it, but that's just my opinion.
We'll just have to wait and see how it turns out. Gabe, do you believe J.J. McCarthy will really be the second QB taken in the NFL draft?
Well, let's take a look at Zach Wilson. Let's take a look at Trey Lance. How is that
Trey
going?
Lance. Trey Lance, he got to play like 4 games, man. He was just shipped off.
No, J.J. McCarthy, I'm sorry, man.
J.J. McCarthy.
Here.
Sorry.
He was carried by a great team, great defense, great coach. He's as valuable as the kicker in my eyes.
Yep.
Nazir, is Jokic the NBA's MVP this season, or do you think Luka or SGA have caught up to him?
I think Luka caught up to him. I don't think SGA caught up to him like that, but Luka definitely caught up to him. And I think Luka will win it. So we'll just have to see the seeding. The seeding will determine. So otherwise, Jokic will win it.
Think so? I don't know. I guess. That is it for our 2-minute drill, which also means our time is up for tonight. It was great to be back. We'll continue with the regular 30-minute shows through the end of the semester. That means you can join us once again next week at 7 in the evening, Wednesday night, when we discuss all of the latest topics in sports. Until then, for Nazir Spencer and Gabe Sadowski, I'm Alex Monti, saying thank you for excusing our momentary interruption of sports from your regular daily schedule. Good night.